Hey everyone. I'm afraid that last quest was a little underwhelming, so let's see what Ganconer has for us this time. Alright, well, Shield Wall is old, but we got 2 new quests. Guess we'll start at the top. For a rare folk, much better. Well, we absolutely have to get that alcohol back. Fortunately, Boggarts are pretty easy to defeat, so I'm sure there's a difficult part of the quest somewhere. Of course, it'll be Condemnation Tower. Isn't it always? And the timer begins. Yep, this is a timed quest that starts as soon as you got your mission and doesn't stop. Yeah, of course, we've got to clear out the room on this floor before we can go up. I wouldn't worry too much. The timer is actually really generous. So this room, we've got nothing but a red crystal. We know that's going to be a trap. And once again, my folks are set up the way they were during that crystal breaking quest. So let's come up with a more useful palette. And almost immediately, I figure I've probably made the wrong choice because I'm fighting Kalmia. Normally, I'd just go ahead and blunder on with Afank, but I don't really have the time to be messing around with missed attacks. Nor do I have the time to mess with getting beaten up. Again, if you're doing this quest on your own, you probably want to use an Ice Elemental Folk, because that's particularly effective on Kalmia. But Fomor works just as well. I don't know how he knows that, but I guess he's making the same assumption I did. Since this is the only place he can get to from the ground floor, it must be what you need to make the elevator go up. And I've used somewhere around 1/3 of my time just to get off the ground floor. I still say don't worry too much about the time, especially since this is a familiar challenge. And as it happens, I think I'm fighting them in completely the wrong order here. Should be paying more attention to my karmas and see exactly which ones I need to capture and which ones I need to kill with what. But once again, very worried about the time here, since I've only got about 2 minutes to get up the entire rest of the tower. Kinda seems unfair. I was hoping Afank was a little stronger than that. Yeah. See, Bathir or Bauganus I would have had time to capture. Barely dead, no way. Is what I would have said if the timer had continued, but no, you have 4 minutes to get to this point. And now we're off the timer, and it's just a matter of guessing which direction I have to go to find the Boggart. Clearly it's not this way, but we've got a couple of birds, so I'll just go ahead and kill them and see what I get. Yeah, Durandal's attack has a surprisingly large area of effect, both vertically and horizontally. Now, I didn't think that was going to hit that Olgic, but it definitely did. I'm not really sure what good onerous is going to do me from this point. It still works. Just Durandal works better. And only slightly more expensively, too. But it's a good chance to heal up before the actual final confrontation of this quest, which, as you can guess, is on the other side of the floor. And believe me, you're gonna need that extra large life drop. I mean, at least if you took any damage on the way up. You get a green quartz just for making it this far, and then here's our first Boggart. Yeah, I'm kidding, that's it. We're done. We've got the folk Langalan, and you can probably tell the game really wants you to have this folk. Could hardly be easier to get it. So let's take a look at it. If I can remember which direction I go to get the rare folks. It's a Bulbasaur. And all I need to do is defeat 3 Jaruku with it, and it's fully built up. Granted, I'm not going to do that for a while, unless I end up in the Undersea City. Not in this quest, but another rare folk. So, one of the more distasteful quests, we have to use Bather to kill a bunch of folks in Hellrealm. The good news is it's Bather and friends. And his friends are considerably more useful. As you can see, we get our choice of all 3 of the scythe-wielding folks, so you can use Bather if you really want to, but Boggarts and Bowlydead are probably going to be our champions this time around. And as for karmas that I can build up here, defeating 20 folks with Boggarts is certainly doable. Absorbing the ids of the other 2, most likely not going to happen. Not unless I have to go all the way to the tower. So, of course, starting with Boggarts mostly, because it is the one that needs to kill 20 folks. It doesn't take all that much to kill a Boggart with it. Looks like about 9 hits. I think that's pretty close to what you'd be doing with, say, Berlachen or Puka at this point. 8 or 9 hits to score a kill with one of them. 9 with Boggarts really doesn't seem all that bad. And yes, more and more Boggarts just keep appearing as I fight. You're seeing the entirety of the quest here. Admittedly, I will start using some other folks. I just want to make sure I don't score too many kills, not with Boggarts, because that's sort of a waste. I guess if I'm not seeing any ready, it might make more sense to use Boggarts and just sweep a path of destruction through them. And Bather's there if I feel like having a laugh, I guess. I think that's probably going to be the order of the day. Weaken them with Boggarts because it's destroy element. Probably do a lot more damage to them than Boggarts will. And then score the kill and keep building up a karma. I don't think there will be a whole lot of room for karma improvement during the quests in this chapter. Just a funny feeling, you might say. And there are no more karmas I can build up during this quest. Boggarts is completely built up, so I got a full 4-hit combo with it. And that makes it more or less useless for this part. If I can actually get them to stick, I can go ahead and capture some mids here too. And we finally get to move on. I don't know whether the objective in this quest is to score a certain number of kills, or if we're actually supposed to clear out each room. But there are just a ton of Boggarts in every room here. So, in the interest of cutting down on the use of time a bit, I decided to go ahead and use Transcension. You can cancel it prematurely by hitting the same buttons. The problem is it takes him so long to detransform that you don't end up conserving very much of your Transcension meter anyway. So I don't think it's ever worth doing. Just go ahead and let it run down. Capture more folks to build it back up. If you've used it, commit. The nice thing is I can get big experience bonuses here. And there are just so many Boggarts. It's pretty easy to capture, not quite double digits, but close. And yes, he did say it's time to go back to the village. The quest is more or less complete as long as I can survive back to the entrance of Hellrealm. But you just don't get an opportunity like this very often. It's a waste, but it's so much fun to just mow these guys down. And this is, of course, the point where I noticed that while you're in Transcension, you don't actually have to face the folks that you're capturing. And I think the capture even works from a lot farther away. So that's an interesting lesson learned, and now it's finally time to get out of here. There's nothing more to be gained by fighting all these guys except more experience. And by now, I've probably got enough. we get our second rare folk in as many quests, Yarthkins. Which is kind of a funny name and kind of a funny folk. And again, I think Langalan was kind of funny too. But Yarthkins looks kind of like a Koblinow, works kind of like a Koblinow, and we'll get something else next time.